A few days ago, the whole world celebrated the most popular holiday of the year, Christmas. And karon nga duol na ang New Year, we still see a number of posts na ang Christmas daw kuno kay pagano. So ikaw nakapangutana sa imong kaugalingon, ang Christmas ba kay pagano ug angay ba mga Christians nga mag-celebrate ani? A lot has already been said about ani nga topic ug nilabay na pud ang Pasko. So let us try a different approach and debunk a couple of fake news about Christmas. Pagan daw kuno ang Christmas tungod dara daw gipanganak ang mga mythical gods sama ni Horus, Mithra, Dionysus, ug si Attis.
I know some people know that December 25th is a pagan holiday, and he's also born on the same holiday as all these pagan gods, Horus, Mithra, you name it. There's a whole bunch of them out there that share this December 25th birthday.
The Roman god.
Was it Saturnalia?
There was the Saturnalia was also at that time of year, but there was Mithras. He was born of a virgin on December the 25th in a manger or perhaps a cave, attended by shepherds, and became known as the light of the world.
Now, this is fake news. There are no serious scholars or even serious archaeologists nga mo claim nga tinuod ni sila. It's because these claims itself lacks the verifiable sources or are fabricated themselves. Take a look at Horus. Now, Horus is an Egyptian god and the son of Osiris and Isis. Pero kung tanawon nimo iyang lore and origin, you will find nga walay evidence og sources nga mo prove that Horus was born on December 25th. The closest source nga ma-mention nato nga gipanganak siya sa December 25th was from Plutarch. Pero ang mentioned birthday was around the winter solstice, which in the northern hemisphere would be around December 21 to 22, and the southern hemisphere would be around June 20 to 21. No sources mentioned nga siya gipanganak mismo sa December 25th. Now, Mithra is a tricky god, mainly because iyang origin gagikan sa Persia, which is now called Iran, and this was adopted by the Romans. Mithra is also linked to the Hindu god Mithra. Pero if you take a look at these three gods, wala kay makita bisig isa man lang nga source nga moingon nga si Mithra was born on December 25th. Now, we will go back to Mithra since we will be talking about Sol Invictus. But for now, let's talk about Dionysus. Dionysus is the Greco-Roman god of wine. He is also the god of fruits and vegetation. Dionysus is actually a well-documented pantheon god. Pero wag gid kay makita bisig isa man lang nga source nga moingon nga gipanganak siya sa December 25th. The same goes with Attis. Now, Attis is a Phrygia god which originated in the Asia Minor, but you will find no sources nga moingon nga gipanganak siya sa December 25th. In reality, most of these comparisons of mythological beings being born on December 25th comes from this documentary called Zeitgeist. And daghan sa mga tao kay willing mo tuo ani, willing mo consume ani nga mga claims bisan paglaking ang mga sources ani, all because they are lazy or di lang gid sila gusto mo pa correction. Murag halos tanan naman guro, nakakitaan na nga video ni Kuya Kim explaining about Christmas and Sol Invictus.
Nung unang panahon sa Europa at Middle East, December 25 ang pinakamahalagang araw para sa mga pagano dahil ito ang araw ng pista ng Natalis Solis Invicti. Ito po ang birthday ni Mithras, ang Iranian sun god. Dahil ginusto ni Emperor Constantine na maging popular ang Kristyanismo, sinabay niya ang pagdiriwang ng birthday ni Jesus sa mahalagang kapistahang pagano.
Let me tell you now, aron makalikay ta sa kalibog. Yes, tinuod nga si Sol Invictus was celebrated on December 25th. And yes, it's called the Natalis Solis Invicti because it celebrates the birth of Sol Invictus. Pero, current sources about Sol Invictus tells us a more detailed story, which would lead us to believe na ang Christmas celebration kay nauna pa sa Natalis Solis Invicti, and I will explain it later on in this video. But for now, let us start kung asa nasayop si Kuya Kim. Number 1. Mithra wasn't born on December 25th. Why? Because we actually don't have any direct sources that talks about Mithra. The cult of Mithra is a mystery cult. So dili nakatingalahan kung wa tay makita nga bisan isa man lang ka manuscript, scriptures or independent sources nga gastorya about ka Mithra. And because of the lack of verifiable sources, wa tay nahibaw-an sa mga doctrines or teachings ni Mithra, iyang origin o ang background sa cult. The only clue we have are inscriptions, sculptures nga makita sa temples ni Mithra. The reason why si Kuya Kim nagtuo nga si Mithra gipanganak sa December 25th despite na wa tay evidence nga mo-suggest ani is because of an inscription found on one of Mithra's temples which explicitly said Sol Invictus, which made Kuya Kim believe na si Mithra kay si Sol Invictus. But the only problem with this theory is that it's fake news. Why? Because number 2, Mithras is not Sol Invictus. To better understand what we are dealing with here, let's take a look at who Sol Invictus really is. Sol Invictus literally translates to invincible sun or unconquerable sun and is used by the sun god in Roman mythology. Sol Invictus, like Mithra, faces the same problem. We know little about them. Walay bisag isa niya ka-temple naka-survive ug wala kayo tay data about sa iyang mga festivals. Pero what little data we have suggests that Sol Invictus is a minor god. He is also an ambiguous god. Throughout its history, numerous gods actually used the title Sol Invictus, like the Greek sun god Helios or the Greek god Apollo. Mao ni nakagubot kung kinsa gyud si Sol Invictus. And as I've mentioned before, si Mithra was also called the Sol Invictus. Pero murag mas ni samot na noon ang kagubot kay we also found sculptures where Sol Invictus and Mithra are dining together, which clearly suggests that Mithra and Sol Invictus are two separate gods. Pero despite sa mga kagubot, we will see a change of direction for Sol Invictus. In 218 AD, Elagabalus became the emperor of Rome, and he made drastic changes. He made his god, Elagabal, the Sol Invictus. This was the first time Sol Invictus gained momentum in the Roman world. The second and final momentum of Sol Invictus was when Aurelian became emperor in 275 AD. Iyan na sa di-revive ang festival ni Sol Invictus and shifted it to a more traditional sense. This is the era where we now have evidence na ang Sol Invictus was celebrated on December 25th. Like I've mentioned before, it is true that Sol Invictus was celebrated on December 25th. Pero dili na siya importante as what Stephen Hyman mentioned. It must be stressed that December 25 was neither a long-standing nor an especially important official feast day of Sol. In fact, ni pa dayon pagani siya og ingon nga wala daw ebidensya nga ang celebration of Sol Invictus on December 25 kay una namugna kaysa celebration of the birth of Jesus Christ. If you collect all sources about the festivals of Sol Invictus, mainly the earlier imperial fasti, makita nimo that the dates of the festivals are August 8, 9, 28, and December 11. Pero if basahon nimo ang late sources like the calendar of 354, ang nabili na lang na festival kay ang August 28. Plus, nadungagan og October 19 to 22 and December 25. With October 19 to 22 being the most important festival of Sol Invictus with 36 chariot races. I repeat, dili December 25, but October 19 to 22. December 25 as a Sol Invictus festival cannot be found in earlier imperial fasti. Makita ra ni siya sa calendar of 354. So looking at the perspective of 354 AD, the oldest festival of Sol Invictus is August 28. The most relevant and important festival is October 19 to 22. And the newest festival is December 25th. Now why is this important? Because it debunks two things. One,
December 25 ang pinakamahalagang araw para sa mga pagano.
based sa evidences na atong nakita, no, If tanawan nimo ang mga early sources before Aurelian and Elagabalus, wala kay makita nga ang Natalis Solis Invicti was celebrated on December 25th. Ug kung mutanaw man ka sa sources after Aurelian, makita nimo nga dili ang December 25 ang importante na festival, kundi ang October 19 to 22. Not to mention na ang August 28 ang maoy pinakakaraan na festival. Ug number 2,
Dahil ginusto ni Emperor Constantine na maging popular ang Kristyanismo, sinabay niya ang pagdiriwang ng birthday ni Jesus sa mahalagang kapistahang pagano.
dili mag-make sense na kailangan pa ni Constantine ibutang ang Christmas sa December 25 para lang sabayan ang Sol Invictus. Because in the first place, December 25 is not the most important festival of Sol Invictus. If si Constantine o mga Christians atong panahon na concern kaayo nga pulihan ang festival ni Sol Invictus, then di ba mas na-sense kung gibutang nila ang Christmas sa oldest festival ni Sol Invictus, which is August 28, o baka sa mas bibo o mas importante nga festivals sa October 19 to 22? Nganong sa tanan man nga festivals ni Sol Invictus, sa December 25 pagid ma-insecure ang mga Christians atong panahon na? So ngano December 25 man gyud ang Christmas? Tungod ni siya sa calculation theory nga gihimo sa mga early Christians all the way back to the 2nd century. Remember, the earliest source that mentioned the Natalis Solis Invicti was in the 4th century. Ang mga Christians gasugod na update sa Christmas all the way back to the 2nd century. That alone proves that Christmas is not based on Sol Invictus. In the end, it is not about kung ahanang gikan ang holiday na atong gina-celebrate. It's about what it means to us. And to us Christians, it's about giving. It's about celebrating. It's about sharing. It's about being with your family and friends. It's about Jesus Christ. Thank you so much for watching. Kani nga video, long overdue na ni tungod kay dapat sa December 24 pa ni i-post. Pero tungod sa mga schedules o sa amount of editing nga kailangan himuon, sige og ka-move ug ang ending karon pagiding tawo na human. If you like this type of format, let us know in the comment section and please share and subscribe. Dako kay nangatabang sa atong programa. Once again, thank you, and here in Lamdag sa Kamatuoran, we wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.